Cool. So what specific method or channel did you use to get your first lead?
The main channel that I used,
How long did that take you to get that first lead?
how much, was the price of the agent? The first pounds a year.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
The way I got my client was
Cool. So what specific method or channel did you use to get your first lead? And hello, Ekwy.
hi, I'm Ekwy, founder of Vital Brilliance AI. I've been in the community since it started, one of the OGs.
Yeah.
But the main channel that I used for voice AI was actually warm outreach. It was friends and family. So before voice AI, I had done some stuff on LinkedIn, and people came through that content. But once I came into voice, I just saw the pain points of people around me, like with their businesses. We'd had conversations. So I started to reach out to people when I got comfortable with the build with you. And
That was awesome.
oh, yeah. And I started looking for, I can do one probably. And then I said, I see this problem here in your business. Can I help you? And that's so it's just warm outreach. I didn't do content. I'm just about to start my content journey. Um, I didn't do cold email. I know some of us are doing cold email, so I don't know anything about that.
Some did, yeah.
But yeah, warm outreach.
Probably the best way to get started, in my opinion, just to, as you said, talk to your family and friends. And I think most people have the mindset that I've talked to is they think they need to, when they do warm outreach, they have to have business owners to do outreach to. But I think it's anyone on your contact list, anyone that you literally know, right? Do you agree with that or?
Absolutely. Like even now, now that I'm set because I moved countries, I'm gonna go through my phone book. Just each person, my plan is to make them a demo agent and just send it to them. I say, I made this for you. Do you think you might need it? And then ask about their problems. And there's tons of people I've known from all my life, at all the places I've worked, friends of friends of friends, friends of families. There's tons of people who need this. So I think it's one of the best ways to start because then you're comfortable talking to them. They know you, and hopefully you're excited about what you're building, and then that excitement passes on to them, and you can solve their problem.
Now you got me an idea. When you say you make a personalized agent, do you mean like, so let's say I got a uncle called Daniel, right? Would you then make it like make an agent that when he calls it, it'll say his name? Is that what you mean personalized or?
That's not what I actually mean. I mean, so I've got two people in my head, actually three. One is a real estate. She's like buying and selling Airbnbs.
Right.
So I know for a fact that she's always getting people calling her, or she's calling out people to look for properties to buy and sell. So I know that she doesn't want to always sit on the phone calling people or receiving calls. She's always on the field. So I wanted to build one for that use case for her and say, and I know it was a problem. So I'm not going to build an agent just for the sake of it. I want to build something that solves people's problems. So another one is my in-laws husband. He has a doctor's practice,
Mhm.
and he gets a lot of calls to book appointments from elderly people, and sometimes he's in between the treatment, so he can't answer the phone.
Oh, you can't say then. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, oh gosh, like I could help with that. So just to keep that relationship going with his patients. So those are what I mean by personalized. So create a persona and use prompt master to create a nice prompt. Their businesses really get in there. And what I want to do for the gym, my gym guy, is his voice. He's so obsessed with having his voice on the AI agent.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's a niche in itself.
Yeah, that's a niche of a niche. I know. Well, I built him one, but it hasn't got his voice yet. So that's another way of personalizing it.
Do you have any tips for anyone starting out in this space?
hmm For I think I, it's been 2 years I've been doing it, and I'm only just realizing a few things, even deeper in my experience. For example, there's a ton of stuff in the AI space. Like, if you do not put your head down and just focus on the one thing, like one thing you're learning, one thing you're doing, and measure that, you will just get lost in the noise. For me,
Example.
yeah, like every day there's a new tool. And also, if you have abilities, like I've done 15 years in consulting, IT consulting, and I can see so many niches in niches. Like there's AI consulting, there's AI education, and within that, there's niches, sub niches. And then I said, I really want to do voice, but I kept getting pulled back into creating LinkedIn content agents for people, which I did prior, and I made a few thousand from that. And I thought, oh, if I keep hopping, I will not get and become an expert in voice AI. In voice AI itself, there's always changes. There's always new things. Like vapi is always changing. You always giving us new things to learn. And I thought, if I don't just stop having these distractions within the AI space itself, I will not move forward in one thing. So that's what I've done. I've just gone online and I said, this is exactly what I'm doing. This is my niche. This is my focus. That's it. For me, that's number one. And number two would be to learn the thing. Like you cannot sell the thing if you don't know the thing. Like even if you're not going to be building it, just have an idea. If
Yeah.
you're going to have a team to build it or you're going to have someone to do the selling, learn one thing very well because then you have a lot of confidence in sales calls and when you want to align the solution to problems. I think a lot of people just build stuff because it's fun. And there's a place there is a time and a place for that. You see, that's not me. I just want to solve problems. Like I want to know why are we doing every time I read a letter, I ask Yanrick, why are we doing this? What problem does it solve? I even do that at my corporate job. So that's the first thing you want to do. Learn something to solve a problem. Because when you're speaking to business owners, in fact, the way I got my client was because I heard her problem. She was like, I'm giving someone a massage. I'm so focused, but I do know that I'm missing calls. And I go to her, how many calls a week do you miss? And she said, 5 calls at least a week. And I said, how much is one session? She said between £150 to £250. And sometimes a call could have a long like 6 months. They could buy 6 months of sessions, so that's a lot of money. And I go, oh, that's about £1,000 a week. You would just say roughly to £4,000 a month. She goes, yeah. And I was like, that's £48,000 a year. That's okay. I don't.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I'll want this then.
She's like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I build you something that does that job for you while you're in treatment, maybe not 24/7, because I feel like she still wanted to talk to her customers sometimes. And she's like, yeah. And that was how I got her. That was exactly how I made my first sale.
Yeah, let's go. Beast,
Yeah.
beast, beast. But you focused on the pain or the that she was feeling, kind of dug your fingers into it, and then went, I've got a solution for that.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, definitely that.
that's such a good way. So yeah, me and Yanis also been framing our things this way. So we actually haven't been selling voice AI. We haven't been selling automations. We've just been selling the solution. So whatever problem they have. So like recently we had one for a plumber. He gets a shit ton of calls. 80% of his calls are spam calls.
Mm.
So that's the solution. Once you get past the AI agent, and yeah, so that was your first lead. How long did that take you to get that first lead?
It was forged from one of but
Damn, that's quick. That might be a
yeah.
record, actually.
Yeah. And it's only because two things. One, we were friends before and she'd been seeing my content on LinkedIn.
So what?
So
Yeah.
really, really warm. Like she was like, oh my god, this guy knows that stuff. Like one day I'll come and hit you up if I need something. That's what she said. And while we were on the boot camp, we had a Serenity Wellness example.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah, that was so.
like, wow. Yeah, no, that reminded me of my friend. I was like, this is her. Like this is what she needs.
So you've told whoever's watching this now, how you got the first lead, and I think TLDR is just use your warm contact list and reach out to people that you know, and then try and do it in such a manner so that you're not selling or you're trying to tell them how cool you are at salt making, I don't know, some kind of function in make.com, right? You just, that's not going to help them. So you just want to try and solve the problem. And then my next
Yeah.
question, probably if I was a viewer, I'd think, Okay, so once I get this first lead, how do I get more? Is it easy to keep going once you've exhausted this warm contact list? Like, what would you say the next step would be? You were saying you started to do content, and I'm wondering why you're thinking of doing that. Maybe is that why?
Yeah, because I want to, because you see, even your warm contacts, some of them can be what's that word? Reluctant and hesitant. But I find that the people who have content, like the Liams, and they have somewhere to send people to,
Mm,
and that just gives you more of a reputation. Like, if you know your stuff, show us know your stuff, and you have a portfolio of videos, and no one's gonna argue with that, right? And it's true, no one's gonna, especially if videos are good and videos speak to their problem. So I just thought, I don't want to keep trying to convince people like one on one via WhatsApp. I just want to have a body of content that I just point to. If you're doubting that, and I'm like, oh, no, my YouTube video actually, I touched on this. So that's why I think the third thing I would advise is don't wait until you know everything. Like, we talk about knowledge gap. There's always someone who knows less than you. Just focus on that person when you're teaching content. Don't think about the experts, those who have 100K followers. Think about just the person that's just one step behind you, and then just take them along. So every time I learn something now, and I've learned a ton from you guys, like just share like that. So
did you
yeah,
have anything else to add, Ekwy, to this?
I'm think you asked value of the client. Like, because how much, was the price of the agent? The £48,000 a year
Oh yeah,
at the
48,000.
very
Yeah.
least. Yeah. So the fact that it was an 8 grand agent she didn't bat an eyelid because she knew that that agent would last her for years and years and years. And because she was my friend, I also offered free fixes, whatever she needed. I'm not gonna do that to everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah.
The math behind it's actually quite close to what we do. Not really, but quite close. So it's like you grab how much money they're losing or how much money they might make if they got rid of a thing, if they replace it with voice AI. So let's just make it to 50K. Then you grab 20% of that, which ends up being 10K. So we usually go around the 10K mark, and kind of depending on how much money they actually have. So if we know they're a Fortune 200 company making $8 billion a year, like you're not going to charge them 10K.
Yeah.
You can definitely charge more, right? But if they're a very small business with like just the owner, like you're not going to charge 10K, right?
Yeah,
Probably won't do
exactly.
a big build. They're most likely just wanting to do like an Excel sheet, maybe have some email automation, just to make their life a little bit better. And on that,
Yeah.
for them, you could probably price it a bit less, like,
Oh,
depending.
definitely.
Yeah, so
Definitely. Yeah. I'm not married to big numbers, honestly. Like, I just want to build a portfolio. So for her, yes, it was an 8 grand value, but I really just said, okay, you know what, just pay for. And as a friend, it's fine. So
yeah,
when I talk to my circle of friends, like, I'm some AI genius, it's like, what?
yeah,
What? So just share what you know, whatever stage you're at, honestly.
yeah. I just talked to one of my uncles I haven't talked to in ages. I was like, "What if you just take a picture of your front yard because you wanted to fix up his front yard and put something cool in it? Just take a picture of it, just send it to ChatGPT and give you some ideas." He's like, "What ChatGPT?" I'm like,
Yes, we're in a bubble. Absolutely.
"I was like, bro, you're on a different world than me." Shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool, cool, cool. I'm going to let you in on a secret. The person that I just interviewed, they joined this exact community, Voice AI Bootcamp. It is currently the biggest voice AI educational community in the world. And if you guys don't want to miss out on this golden opportunity, hit that link in the description, and I hope to see you there.